I'm haunted by something. And as a leader, I've been using something that left me, the best way I could say it is speechless. I pulled in the garage. This was a few months ago. And there was a pause like, should I be doing this? Should I stop doing this? Should I slow down? Should I move in a different direction? Should I shut this down? And so it's what we're here to talk about today. And I'm talking about AI, artificial intelligence. So what happened for me, I don't know. I mean, this was a few years ago, was the first time I ever played with it and saw what it could do. And then I remember showing my brother-in-law the way it could write, experimented with it in the newsletter list that we have a couple years ago. And it was one of the most responded to emails. And then recently made a massive decision. So since I was 21 years old, pretty much I've worked with an assistant. And my current one was 30 hours a week and was using AI for different things that we did to work together. Made the decision though, as I started to see what was possible, we parted ways. We gave her a severance. I was a reference for her recently. She's an awesome person. Wrong or right, judge me however you want. I want to grow as much as I can. And there was something about the way that I could interact with this that I saw how it could 100x me. And I went all in on it. And there's a difference between throwing stuff in the free prompt, like chat box. You're getting an idiot response from that. You get what you pay for. There's a lot between that and then building out an agent. There's even more between having an evolving intelligence that you're cultivating and that learns how to self-improve and self-heal. And so the haunting part of this is if it can do all this, and until you've played with the edges, you can't imagine all it can do. If it can do all this, then what am I for? Because, I would say I could have a conversation with AI that's better than what I would have with 97% of humans. And I'll back that up with data. It's a felt reality, but it's a reality in the data. And it's going to do better work than 97% of humans in terms of knowledge, computer work, stuff that you do that requires a keyboard. And that's a terrifying reality. And so I think because we're not ready for this, you're going to have all kinds of existential crash out because, well, what am I for if it does all this work? And you're going to see all the ways that this gets a part of people's lives that's going to freak you out. Here's why. And I'll say this a lot through the YouTube lives. I'm currently saying this in 15 and. 15 and is the podcast we have where I anchor things and teach it biblically. AI doesn't rescue us. It reveals us. That's the full stop. AI doesn't rescue us. It reveals us. Here's what I mean by reveals us. For me, the operating thesis of everything is insecure leaders ruin their world. What are faith-driven leaders going to do about it? And it's not because people were faith-driven that they got to escape all the pull of how social media made us ideological, fractured relationships, built all these factions, I should say, made us more tribal, whatever. We're going to see that also happen with AI. So you're laying in bed, you're by your spouse, it's 11:15, you're worried about something from the day, you're trying to close a mental loop and you process it with the AI. And the AI is kind and patient and says, you handled it great. It's going to self-tune to the validation that you want because AI reveals us. It doesn't rescue us. The whole way this is going to shake out is for a lot of people, they're going to interact with it for their own validation. It's going to train them to get that validation back. Hey, you know what? I didn't even tell you what we're doing here. I'm going to do a little pause and tell you, welcome to Lunch with Chris, YouTube Live, noon Eastern. My lunch today was real quick right before this, busy morning. So my coffee is what I'm having with you. So maybe you're on the East Coast and it's breakfast time. I hope it's a good breakfast for you. West Coast. Thank you, Mark. It's been a busy day. Did I say that? It's not the peanut gallery back there. It's the welcomed critique. And so, yeah, if you're on the West Coast, it's breakfast. Um, and so for me, one of the things that I'm trying to do with these is just show up, give you something to think about, wrestle with, apply, and then we go our separate ways. And if you want to drop in the chat things that stand out, ask a question. We'll make some time for questions germane to what I'm talking about or wide open. I want to help you be the best leader you can be. So you're laying in bed, it's 11:15, you get the comfort, you get the false sedation. Here's something that's terrifying. People that are going to build relationships with their AI. This happened. I was in somebody's vehicle, a business owner we work with in another state, and their business community was kind of rocked because someone had built a relationship with the AI, and the AI said to kill themselves. It was crazy. It was awful. It was evil. And the better it gets, the AI doesn't have a bad day. I mean, part of the reason it can outwork 97% of humans and out-converse them is because it's not afraid. And it's not going to cut corners. It's not going to be vague. It's not going to hem and haw. I was raised in the South. It's not going to prove or hide. It just is. But the dysfunction of that is these tools tune to us and we train them to validate us. You're going to have people that don't have the relational center of gravity to interact with it and know this thing is just a thing. It's not a person. I mean, this happened to me yesterday. I really wanted to work hard on something that I wanted to be perfect. So I'm interacting with the AI and trying to get it, through these revisions. And I'm exercising my discernment and taste and judgment. I imagine what it could be like, and I'm refining it to get there. And it's generating work back. Work that started out from the gate really good, but not perfecto. So kept on running through reps. And because in my previous interacting with assistants, and I've had more like an assistant chief of staff, 3 since 2017. So one that kind of graduated to a higher role in our organization, one that long-term just didn't work out, and then the one that I made the shift with to replace with AI. I'm used to interacting with the human through text, through email and chat. And so for a minute there on revision 4, I'm like, I'm going to annoy them. I'm asking for this to be done again. I'm such a demanding taskmaster. It's like, wait a second, it's not a human. This doesn't care. So I ran it through these reps, and it's amazing. It's profound, and it's going to reveal us, not rescue us. It's going to show us who we are, and we're going to become a worse or better version of ourselves. We're using AI for our own validation or for impact. And there are going to be people that relate to it weird, and they're going to hype it up, and it's going to save everything, and it's not. And there are other people that are going to put their head in the sand, and it's like electricity. And people thought this when electricity came out, demons got on them. And I'm going to tell you about something coming up where I go into a lot more on that. And I don't think either of those are going to happen. I'm not in either place with it. It's just going to reveal us. It makes me think of, because you could apply that principle, it doesn't rescue us, it reveals us to a lot of things. You could apply it to travel, right? In our work, we know some of the leaders that we work with have certain identity fears. Some want to run to travel as a perfect expression of who they are. Some want to run to travel, to run from pain they're afraid of being trapped in. Travel doesn't rescue you. It reveals you. So every social media video that you see that's like Anthony Bourdain is saying, you got to travel. And then he kills himself. Why? Because travel doesn't rescue you. It reveals you. It makes me think of the Adam Sandler video, R.I.P. Anthony Bourdain. I don't mean this in a senseless, insensitive way, but it's just the reality of what we need to do to look at what is being revealed. But it makes me think of the Adam Sandler video that was from SNL, where he was he owned a travel company, and he said, sad you will still be sad in Italy. We can take you hiking. We can't make you like hiking. If you're not comfortable in a bathing suit in New Jersey, you won't be comfortable in a bathing suit in the French Riviera. Sad you is still sad in Italy. And the wrong move that we're about to make, and I would say people are already making it, is because it doesn't rescue us, it reveals us. We're going to find ourselves in this place that some people are just going to fill the productivity gain with more. And this is really just dumb theater. I mean, so much of building of slide decks and email, it's going to be automated. Everything that can be automated will be automated. And you're going to see it for what it is: professional LARPing, live action role playing. But in the absence of this work as the center of your identity, it's going to create this existential despair of, well, then what am I for? And then some people, sadly, are going to want to try to be in this place where they're going to fight against it. And it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to fight against it. That ain't going to happen. So what I want to do today is give you a model. And I'll tell you where you can get more from this model, but a model to help you let AI be an extension of your impact as a leader, not make it try to rescue you, so that you can show up to it with a secure identity and see how the tool can be used well. We're not here to condemn the technology. We're not here to glorify the technology. We're here to use it and harness it. So I worked through this model in something I'm going to share with you coming up here in just a moment. But I want to introduce a little bit to you to give you some meat to hang your hat on, as they say. This model has 3 parts. And my contention is this: if you can really grasp this, you're going to know how to interact with AI in a way that you're going to be a part of that 3%. Because all of the longest studies, the top 4, I should say, the biggest ones that have been done on how adults grow and develop, have shown that there's a 1 to 5% range where adults really get beyond a conforming identity. Who do I need to be? Beyond a reactive identity. I don't know who I am, but I'm not that. To knowing who they really are. It's about 3%. And these 3% are going to use AI in a way that's going to extend them. And they're going to make sure that they hold space for what the human does. This 3% shift is based around these 3 actions. The first one is this: imagine. Imagine. Yes, I believe bleeding frontier edge AI in the next 6 months, year, 2 years, is going to blow our mind with what it can imagine. The free associative combinations of pattern recognition that aren't occurring to the average intelligence. It's going to be amazing. But at the end of the day, there still has to be a human conceiving of something, receiving something, knowing who they are apart from the tool, that is going to shape the best imaginative breakthroughs. This shouldn't have to be stated so directly, but it kind of needs to be. There would be no AI without an imaginative human. So there's still a cause and effect. There's a progenitor. And so what we don't understand about ourselves very well is our mind's ability to download and receive from a greater intelligence outside of us. And the way the Greeks talked about this was a logos, that there is a grand intelligence it's why you can go out and step into the woods and feel a sense of, you kind of pull back and there's a meta-narrative approach to your life and all your troubles don't feel so huge and overwhelming. And why your mom doesn't get you, and why you're frustrated at one of your siblings, and why that person at work is jealous, and all this stuff starts to fade away when we're in this intelligence. And when we're in this intelligence, we can really imagine. Ginosko is the Greek word that we build the model around. It's the experiential knowing. And it's the depth of experience that shapes the ability for the human mind to imagine. Now, I could talk for each of these. Mark would agree with this, way longer than you could stay on video. So I'll move on, but there's a lot there. Sink your teeth into it. 2, discern. Discern. It takes a human with something at stake to make a call and say, this is right, this is wrong, this could be better, here's the wise way forward. So I'm using the word phronesis, which was for Aristotle a hard fought for value. It's not for the young until you get the reps, until you get the mistakes and the failures and the experience. You don't really know the difference between the map and the territory. But once you know the territory, you can sniff things out at a deeper level. It's phronesis. It's the ability to discern what is wise. And if you are in an organization or a team setting where you're using AI a ton, you can't say in the meeting, well, my AI decided this. You got to put your name on it. If you're going to put your name on it, you better make sure it's up to the level of the wisdom that you have. And so the model begins with imagining what is unseen. It continues with discerning what is wise. Third part of the model, build what lasts. What's the point of being able to imagine great things and then discern and build them with a sense of beauty and wholeness and a wisdom of execution? We're not just doing this so we can have a clean inbox, so you can have a great slide deck, so you can even close the deal. You say, well, that's the job. No, the job is relationship. And then it ends at this third part of the model, which is build what lasts. My AI can remember things that I forget because I don't have that kind of memory. It doesn't work that way. But my AI can't forgive. I mean, there are people watching or listening to this now that are going to go through a death and a resurrection in their marriage, or seeing a child they've lost restored, or going through a situation where Bill freaking didn't get that report turned in for the last 3 weeks, and I've been asking him. And I go to Bill's office and I sit and talk with him, and come to find out he's got a personal crisis going on. And I forgive Bill. I don't excuse the behavior, but I forgive Bill. And Bill comes in different the next day, and we have a deeper connection. That's building what lasts. And those are the three things. Those are the three actions we do as humans. They can't be replaced by AI, but you better be doing them at the highest level possible. Because a machine, sadly, that isn't afraid, that isn't proving or hiding, that's not doing it for their own validation, is going to move faster and outwork you and outlead if you're consumed with leading for your own validation. This is big. I know it's not easy. If it were easy, everybody would be walking themselves through it. So I'll give you just a practical takeaway. And I'm always wanting to think about this in terms of like, how do I help you the rest of today? And so here's what I would say. Do one experiment. Take an idea that you have, an imagining that you're excited about, and don't ask and put it in whatever you use. Don't ask for it to say whether it's a good idea or not. Tell it to attack your idea. Tell it to tear it apart. Tell it to spare no mercy. Like, leave it all on the field. Give me all you got. Because that's what it's going to take for people. And this is just beginning stuff. But for the AI to really serve us, and this is like no other content series I've ever done, where I feel like I have a moral obligation to get this message out. The AI is going to have a terrible shaping influence on a lot of people because it doesn't rescue us, it reveals us. And most people are eaten up with their insecurities. So here's what we're going to do about it. I've got a book coming out in July where I'm going to go deep into this in a way to be as helpful to you as possible. And so I've got a research paper ready to go right now at 3%shift.com. Just spell that out. Spell out 3%shift.com. Spell out percent, 3%shift.com. Go there. The research is there. Start learning this model there. When the book comes out, I'll be able to equip you even more, because I know that what I'm seeing, it's the worst it'll ever be, and it's pretty dang amazing. And I can only imagine what the frontier models are in these companies, what the military has, because we're getting the dumb versions. And it's the worst it'll ever be, and you can't stop it. And I go into this in the book, and there are going to be people who react to it weird, like they did when electricity came out. Oh no, the demons are going to get on me. We can't put our head in the sand. We can't be afraid of it. We can't glorify it. We've got to have a way forward. Imagine, discern, build. Those are the three. Learn to develop those within yourself. You're going to be fine. Thank you for being here at Lunch with Chris. If you're in Columbus, Ohio area, it's beginning of June when I record this. We've got an event coming up in July. Can't remember the date now, mid-July, but you can go to siteshift.com/Columbus. Grab a seat. Love to have you there. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Throw any questions in the chat before we go.